It's wrinkled sheets. It's wrinkled sheets. It's really kind of neat. Listen. Janet farted. Did you hear that?
I moved a chair.
Golly. They always say that, don't they? It wasn't me, I moved the chair. It wasn't me, the leather squeaked. It wasn't me, that was my tennis shoe.
Oh, my legs are sore. My back is sore. I had a good workout this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Cycle bar.
Not Psycho Bar.
Cycle
Psycho Bar.
bar.
Ah.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't at 6:30 in the morning.
No.
At least it wasn't get up at 3 to go to the 6 a.m. Psycho Bar.
I don't get up at 3 to go to the 6 a.m. I get up at 4.
To go to the 6 a.m.
Yes, because there's things.
Because you got to get up and shower before you go to the gym and get workout and sweaty.
I do.
Yeah. Please explain that to our listeners, why you take a shower before you go sweat at the gym.
Because I have a deviated septum, and when I sleep, my nasal passages get really stopped up, and it's hard to work out with them stopped up. And the best way to release those is take a quick, it's never a long shower, it's a quick hot shower, and I shave my pits. And yeah, then do a sinus rinse right before I go work out.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah, you told me to share. Stop. That is the most annoying noise. And that's how you eat. That is how he eats, guys. I'll be sitting. Please stop. No one's going to want to listen.
This is an awesome meat and cheese plate you put out for us.
Please stop. People aren't going to want to hear that. Like, I'll be sitting next to you while we're watching TV and you're eating, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I don't understand because I chew with my mouth closed. Is that what you're hearing still?
Stop. Just stop. Oh my gosh.
Well, I did learn tonight, you did make a meat and cheese tray. Since
Charcuterie.
It's New Year's Eve. We're recording right now. What time is it? It's 6:05 New Year's Eve. Evening. And you put out
a charcuterie board.
And I said, huh? And you said, a meat and cheese board. And I go, well, just say meat and cheese board. And you said, it's a
charcuterie board.
And then I said, I've never heard that before. And you go, Alexa, what is a charcuterie board?
A charcuterie board is an assortment of cheeses and meats. They may also include a type of bread or biscuit. For a sweetness, they can contain fruits or a spread such as a spicy mustard or jam. Did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you, Alexa.
Thanks for your feedback.
She's so lovely.
She is so awesome, isn't she? She listens to everything. That's how the Chinese know what's going on in our country.
I got nothing going on. They can hear everything I say. I got nothing to hide.
Nothing?
No.
Not one thing? You have not one thing that you wouldn't want somebody... You don't have one personal secret that you wouldn't want somebody to know.
Well, I'm sure there's something, but it's not something I'm talking about openly all the time in my house while the Amazon device is listening.
Okay. I just know there's people that are really freaked out by the Amazon device.
I know. But we love it, right?
Right. I've grown very accustomed to her, especially the way you have the house set up now with not only is it by room, it's by object in the room. Like you can shut off the whole living room, but then you can say, turn on such and such lamp. Boom, it comes on. Or turn on the Christmas tree.
I know.
Boom.
It's an amazing life that we live in. But we're getting ready to wrap up 2020.
Are you happy about that?
I'm indifferent.
I don't understand how this year has been so crappy. I mean, 2020, we all expected, like, 2020 is going to be great. 2020, woo!
New decade.
Yeah, and it was been absolutely the most horrible year I think I've ever had in my entire life. Like, everything has gone wrong as far as
in
disease and work and career and job.
You don't have disease, though.
Well, we don't have disease, but the country does.
It's a virus. It's not a disease.
It's a disease. The disease is...
But you know, the silver lining is we have spent more time together this year than we probably have our entire marriage.
I know, and we've used up all of our good stuff, so what are we going to do for the rest of the time?
Oh, I'm sure there's books on that.
Maybe it's on the charcuterie board.
Oh, dear God.
I thought a charcuterie board...
Charcuterie.
A what?
Charcuterie.
How's your charcuterie? Have you got to go see the gynecologist?
Dear God.
Well, I took a look at your charcuterie.
Jeez. I just like saying it. It's a fun word to say.
I like saying it too. Charcuterie.
Oh, but yes, it's been an icky year in many, many ways. But you know me, try and focus on the silver lining.
And what silver lining have you found? Now that you've brought this up, what silver lining have you?
I have got to hang out with you more than...
Wow, one thing out of
That's a lot. That's huge. That's one of the most important things in my life.
Oh my God, that is so damn romantic.
And, like when lockdown first started, people were like, how you guys doing?
Oh, I know.
Are you and Steve
Everybody's
doing
asking,
okay?
"How you doing, right?" Because everybody else was fighting, or getting along, and divorced.
Fine.
And
Outside of your chewing, I am perfectly fine. Stop.
how come I can't have a piece of what meat did you put out there anyway?
We have a salami and I don't know what the other one is.
Oh, but the buffalo cheese is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's buffalo flavored cheese, but like buffalo wing, and it is awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Is there a company name that you remember at all?
Not
You
that I
just
remember.
Safeway.
I got it at Safeway.
Safeway, and it's amazing.
And we have gone to King Soopers, and I've been at Walmart, and
And neither one of those had those cheeses for your charcuterie board.
I gotta say, if you're going to make a charcuterie board and you have a Safeway, they have the best selection of meats and cheeses for that endeavor.
I do have one question. Where did you learn the word your charcuterie board?
My friend Ashley on my Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine podcast.
Oh.
She taught it to us.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a girlfriend. Every once in a while, she'll come over and she brings meats and cheeses. And I was like, yeah, this is our own like little charcuterie board. And ever since then, I'm like, I like making charcuterie boards. But then after tomorrow, you and I have been instructed by our doctors to avoid the cheeses.
Avoid the cheeses.
And
yes.
probably those meats.
We both got your cholesterol
Mine was a little high. Mine wasn't
as high as mine.
right. But I don't want to get to your age and have that problem. So I'm
Right.
going to try and...
Well, it's really weird because I've been doing keto through the doctor, going and having checkup and blood work. But there was a period because of the virus that I did not go for like several months. And then I went down to Texas to help my mom, and I ate Texas food. I ate Texas style. I ate just like barbecue and fried chicken and a lot of kolaches, just delicious kolaches. Like sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. And put on like, 15, 16 pounds. And
COVID-15.
yeah, and came back and had the blood test again. And she's like, whoa, your
What have you
cholesterol
done
is
to yourself?
horrible. And you need to do this. And she put me on a statin drug. That's supposed
You
to
taking that daily?
daily. Mhm.
Are you taking it
I
daily?
am taking it daily.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got it right there by my toothbrush and the sink and everything. And matter of fact, the toothbrush makes everything taste horrible in the morning. If I brush my teeth and have an energy drink, why does that happen? Why does a toothpaste or toothbrush make anything
It's
with
the mint.
Is that what it is with anything orange juice or mango? You're like,
You don't want to add mint to those. So my typical routine is I'll have my coffee, then I brush my teeth. Mm-hmm. Then I have water, because water doesn't react badly with mint.
oh,
And then wait about an hour, and the mint taste is gone. You've drank some water, kept yourself hydrated, and then you can dehydrate yourself with an energy drink.
dehydrate yourself.
Yes.
Okay, then. And that's our 2020. I hope y'all had a good time. Thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate it. And I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, did I say something bad? I'm like, I just said how great we're getting along, and he's going to shut me down.
Well, one thing that we have discovered is new shows.
We have.
Because of the lockdown, everybody's going, are you watching such and such? Have you seen? You got to binge watch.
We binge watched Virgin River season 2.
Season 2.
We binge watched Bridgerton, which is phenomenal.
You just loved it.
Yes.
It was like Grey's Anatomy set
No,
in
it's like Gossip
1813.
Girl. It's like Gossip Girl set in 1813.
It is a lot like Gossip Girl because there's the whole Mrs. Waterdown?
Weathering water. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Waterdown or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And society does not look upon this couple with great dignity.
But did you like Bridgerton?
I did. I thought it was going to be bad after the first episode because it was really slow and like.
But like you said, after the first episode, they have to introduce you to everyone.
Everybody. Yeah, you can't just jump into a storyline. You go, who's that? Who's that? Especially when there's two families involved, and one of them's got 7, and the other's like 5 people, and they're all. And then there's other characters, so I do understand that it takes a while to build something up.
The Duke of Hastings.
And now I've got you watching Poldark.
Which is nothing like
Bridgerton.
But you sold it to me as though it would be. It's much more violent and much more dark.
Well, it's more real. It's much more real. Bridgerton is like, look at us, we're all hanging with the Queen 24/7. Hey, we're at a dinner party with the Queen today and tomorrow.
When I want real, I watch Big Brother or, Amazing Race. That's reality TV.
Yeah. But Poldark is still a good show. You said you were getting into it.
I am. It's just darker than...
Yeah, because there's war, and it starts at the Revolutionary War, and then he goes back to Cornwall.
And what's his name? Russ?
Ross Poldark.
Ross
Poldark.
Yeah. He's a handsome-looking guy.
As my sister says, nobody rocks a tricorner like Ross Poldark.
Yes, and he has bumps on his stomach.
What does that mean, by the way?
He has abs.
Oh. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I think I may have made that up. But we were sitting there, and there was a scene where he was like cutting the fields with his shirt off, and I was like,
he has bumps on his stomach.
He has bumps on his stomach.
And I was like, what?
You didn't ask at the time.
No, I didn't. I was like, no, I just figured there's something I'm watching the show. I don't need to ask questions because then I don't hear dialogue.
You talk during shows.
Oh, not like you do.
You like to say that, but I don't.
Oh, please.
Yes, we got along in 2020, I swear.
Until we started the podcast.
Jesus.
That guy that stars in Poldark is in another British show that I have not seen, but my sister said is really good, where he plays a werewolf. That it's like a werewolf, a vampire,
London?
and a something. They all share an apartment. Mm-hmm. It's like I think it's called Almost Human or something like that. I'll have to check it out. But
yeah, there's like 5 seasons of Poldark.
Yes,
we got a long ways to go.
Right. But since you made me stop watching The Americans, I didn't
make you stop watching anything. I fall asleep before you most nights. You can watch The Americans then.
I really thought you liked it. We were into it. We were watching so many of them, and you're like, it's just it's violent, and I want positivity in my life. And this is just...
Is that bad? You've known me for 10 years, and that is how I've been. I remember when we first started dating, you're like... Oh, you're all about the escapism. I am.
You're all about...
Nothing has changed.
Poly-positivity.
Yes. Nothing's changed.
I thought maybe
I thought you liked that about me.
Well, I do. I like that you, don't worry, life will be better tomorrow. Don't worry. Don't let that get you down. I know you stepped on a needle and it's in your foot, but you'll have surgery and you'll feel much better tomorrow.
Oh, no. I had to get all negative on you on that. I had to become very stern. Did we talk about that in the last podcast?
So. I don't think I think we have.
I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah. Let me check.
If we didn't, I'll just do a quick recap. We have a diabetic cat who gets shots, and I stepped on an insulin needle that went way up in my foot and broke off. And that's what.
Oh, yeah, we did not.
Yeah. So that's what happened. I broke off a needle in my foot, and I went several days with it in my foot thinking, oh, maybe it'll just work its way out, because I looked up online, people have said piece of wire has worked its way out, or a big splinter will eventually work its way out. Sewing needle does, there was all this, it'll be fine. Then there's other people no, immediately go get that checked out. And you were like, oh, that had insulin and cat blood in it. That could be horrible. You need to go to a doctor now.
So I came home. I was traveling for Thanksgiving. I came home from that trip. That's the last time we podcast was right before that trip. And you're like, so I think I stepped on a cat needle. And I was like, did you call the doctor? Immediately. That was my first question. Did you call the doctor? No, I'm not sure if it's still in there. it's been painful the last couple days. And I was like, if...
It got more painful.
Yeah. I was like, you need to call the doctor. Okay. Couple days go by and you're like, oh, my foot. And I was finally like, Steve, mama voice, call the doctor Monday.
Mama voice.
Yeah, I had to be stern. My positive Polly went out the window because you wouldn't listen to me. I was like, please call the doctor. Please call the doctor. Freaking call the doctor. And you did. You went in. The doctor couldn't help. She cut your foot open trying to get it out. Couldn't send you immediately. Immediately. That should tell you something.
Well, she said immediately, I think, because they had already cut my foot open and couldn't find it. So they were like, we're sending you to a podiatrist right now. Go, just take this and go. And I drove directly over there, and he did surgery with ultrasound. He had my foot showing on an ultrasound screen and was doing like, well, she came up from the bottom because that's where it went in. And then he actually came down from the top of my foot. So there was a hole in the bottom and a hole in the top when they were all done.
But not like you're picturing, because I bet you're picturing like Jesus's foot on the cross. No. It was more of like a hole in the bottom and then a hole on the side.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Yeah, they didn't come together and join.
No, because that's what I pictured until I had to dress his wound one night. And I was like, this is not what I pictured at all. You're not Jesus.
Yeah. And then they had... stitches on the top, but not on the bottom. And when I asked him, he told me when I went to get my stitches out why he didn't do it is because sometimes something's in your foot, it'll cause an infection, and it needs to drain out, and that's why I had that pad. And I've never that morning when I woke up the next day and was like, "There's blood on the floor."
Came back from Cycle Bar, and you're like, "I bled on the floor," and I was like, "What?" I come running upstairs, and there's a trail of blood from the bed to the restroom, and I was like, okay, but it wasn't as bad as I pictured.
No.
When I come in the house and you're like, I bled on the floor, I was like, oh, what? Run upstairs.
The bandage was soaked with blood, though.
Yeah. And you had to wear a boot.
I had to wear a surgery boot.
You had to travel.
I had to do a show in a surgery boot one night. Then the next night I'm like, no, I'm not doing this.
No.
I'll just put the bandages back on and wear a untied tight. I didn't tie my tennis shoe tight.
Right.
So, and then it was fine. It took 2 weeks, 2 weeks to heal up, but
it healed up perfectly fine. Now you're not in pain.
Yeah, but I think it's hysterical though. This is what people get so weird about with medical stuff. Is it was $1,700. The surgery at the podiatrist, $1,700 for an insulin needle. You know how small those are in my foot. $1,700. Now my doctor that I had gone to originally charged me $78 because I got a tetanus shot, and she attempted to find, and that was the X-ray. There was an X-ray, tetanus shot. $78. Podiatrist, $1,700.
But we have insurance, and you only had to pay $14 of it.
Right.
$14.
Right. But if people didn't have insurance and you did something like that to your foot, you'd be like, I'm just going to limp for the rest of my life, I guess, or until this pops out like...
I know a lot of people are scared right now. Like, I had a girlfriend that fell on her stairs a couple days ago, and she's like, I'm just going to try and power through. And I'm like, I did the same thing. I get it. You don't want to go to these places with COVID being present.
You did take a tumble on the stairs that time.
Yeah, right at the beginning of lockdown. Ever since then, I wear shoes. And also because I don't want to get needles. Not that we have needles lying around our house. I think that was just a fluke.
It was a total fluke. It was just... Because normally we break off the needle and put it in one of those bottles.
A Sharps container.
Yeah, that you're supposed to put needles in. And it either fell off or got stuck to the hand and dropped and bam, right in the foot.
Yeah.
So.
And then shortly after that, we lost one of our kittens.
Oh, I know.
He wasn't a kitten anymore. He was an old guy.
And he might have been older than we thought he was.
Yes, it was very abrupt.
It was Rain. If you guys know us.
Not Podcat, but Rain.
Yeah, not Podcat. He'd been looking a little skinny, and both of us were like, hey, let's just get him a checkup. Let's take him.
He had his annual physical, and the doctor said, there's some signs of some kidney failure, but get him on this renal food, and he's not going to like it, but it's low protein and it'll help. And
he did not like it.
He did not.
He did not.
And we noticed he was losing weight, and so you were like, I'm going to take him to your buddy Kevin, Dr. Kevin Fitzgerald, and just get a second opinion.
So Dr. Kevin did blood work, checked him out, and said, "This cat is skinny as hell." And I go, "I know." And he goes,
"That's why
but
I'm
other
here."
He goes, "But other than that, he seems very healthy. Everything seems good. His blood work came back fine. There's signs," said the same thing. There's signs of some
But that can last for years.
kidney, and said, "Just get him on food." And I said, "We already
have
had
it?
that food." He goes,
Prescription food?
"Great. Just let him eat that, and bring him back in a month." He wanted to see him in a month. And I went out of town to do the show.
That was on a Tuesday.
With the boot.
Yeah.
And
Came back on Sunday.
I came back Sunday, and he met me at the door.
And I had hung out with him all day.
Yeah, he met me at the door, and I patted him and stuff, and I took my luggage up and went in and changed clothes and came back down, and he walked into the kitchen and fell over. Mm-hmm. He just fell over. And I was like, "You okay?" And he was doing this weird heavy breathing thing, and you got him food.
And he ate it.
He ate his food.
All of it.
He ate his food.
So I'm like, okay, this is a good sign.
But then he started sliding down, like he couldn't stand up. He started sliding down. And you picked him up, and he was doing the weird...
Yeah, so...
And I said, "Do you want me to... Let's rush him to the hospital." Well, just rush him. And I called Kevin, and Kevin said, "Take him to the closest animal hospital." And we did. And...
mile down the road, before we even got to the hospital, he said goodbye.
Yeah. He went to little kitty heaven on the ride to the hospital, and they grabbed him and took him in, and the doctor runs back out and says,
His heart stopped.
"His heart stopped. Do you want us to revive him? It could be $1,000 up to it." She goes, "It could be up to $1,000." And I was like, no, because
his quality of life is probably already done.
Yeah, and he wasn't super healthy right then, so I couldn't see what, he got to save him, and then he gets another month, if even that, so it's like, because when we have pets, I don't want to be the one to decide you have to go. I never want to make the decision that you have to be put to sleep.
Right. Which I had to do with Moon Pie.
Right. And I've only had to do, I haven't had to do it all because I've come home and I've found them dead. And I'm like, okay, good. I didn't have to make the decision because I don't want that.
That is the silver lining.
Yeah. And I guess that's the silver lining even with this one is he was like, I think, and I've said this on my Twitter account, I think he waited for me to get home. It was really weird because
I had hung out with him all day. Every time I came into the kitchen, he'd come in, I'd give him water or a treat or food. He was well fed.
He was well fed.
And, the heater is on.
We better pause it.
No, we don't have to pause it.
We're going to pause it. No, we're going to pause it.
Okay.
We'll be right back. And we're back. That noise was driving me crazy. Our heater kicks on, and our mics are so good, I guess I should say, that it picks up everything. And the wind is like, and it drives me crazy. So anyway, we were talking about Rain, and that he had waited around, that I thought, and it's kind of cool and kind of sad at the same time, don't you think?
Yes. And then you had another gig out of town the following weekend. And you came back on Sunday night again, and Monday you were like, "Hey, I'm going to go check out this new cat."
Well, did it go down like that? Is that how it went down?
From my point of view.
Oh, okay.
I was working. I had gone to a cycle bar class, came home, was working, and you got up and you're like, "So I'm going to go check out this cat."
I'm going to go look at this. Well, what happened was I was at the gig, and Rain was such a beautiful individual cat. I mean, if you ever saw his face, he had a magnificent face. His eyes, he just looked a certain way. And I thought, I've never seen another cat that looked like that. So I was looking him up. And then I got to, hey, go down the rabbit hole of the internet. Maine Coon. Do they have any Maine Coons at the shelter? What is the shelter?
Right.
What is the shelter near me? Oh, and then as I'm scrolling through the cats, this one cat, this out of all of them, this one cat just was like me,
Pick me.
and
His name was Jupiter.
his name was Jupiter on the paper, and so I went down to check him out at the Aurora Animal Shelter here, and he was very skittish, but he was the only one that
Had rain-like features.
rain-like features, and the only one there was 6 of them in the room, all brothers that all sort of looked alike, but he was the only one that didn't run and hide from me. They were all in a crate, kind of like what we have, and they ran out of the crate and ran under the shelving. And the lady was like, "Oh, well, I hate to pull them out. You know, I hate." I'm like, "Well, this is the one. Is this the one I came to see anyway?" And she waved the chip thing, or they have this like a metal detector, but it's a chip reader. And she's like, "Oh, well, this is Jupiter. This is the one you wanted to like." Isn't that weird?
That is, ooh.
Yeah. So not only was I scrolling, this one got to see that one. The only one that didn't run. Mm-hmm. He wasn't very loving. I will say that. You know, he didn't run, but when I picked him up, he definitely had this. You know,
But
like
he's definitely
he froze up.
younger. So when we got Rain, he was at least 8.
Yeah, and maybe older, because Dr.
Right.
Kevin said after his exam, he goes, "This cat's old as hell."
And how old was Jupiter?
She said probably 1 year, but could be 3, because all of the cats, and this is the story,
Here's the story, guys.
100 cats were in a woman's townhome. And they had been rescued from this townhome, and she said that all of them were like just super skittish. They all just were like wild cats. So, how can you imagine a townhome with 100 cats? With the lady,
You could not manage litter boxes for that. So I'm just imagining the smell and filth.
well, the lady at the Aurora said she'd been doing it since she was 17 years old, and she had never seen a place this bad when they went in to rescue the cats. That the townhome was going to have to be just totally
I can
gutted.
only imagine.
And all the cats had been adopted except these 6. So, again, why was that cat still there for me?
Right?
So I brought it home,
Yes.
and we decided to name it Rainbow. Because I thought, this cat's so wild and young, they don't know their name half the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
being one of 100.
right. I think they just gave them names at the shelter because they all had names like Jupiter, Moon Ring, Saturn. I think they just said, you got to give them names so you know who they are. Well, I was thinking about the name since we had rain, and what do you get after a really good rain?
A rainbow.
A rainbow. So I thought, we'll call him Rainbow after rain.
But then I was like, he's a boy.
He can't be called Rainbow. He's a boy. Why can't he be called Rainbow? What's wrong with that? So anyway, we called him Bo.
Bobo.
Well, originally Bo. I said,
Bo.
we'll call him Bo. And then we thought,
Well,
Bobo.
our family has a dog that they just got
That's
in the
what it
last
was.
year.
And they called their dog Bo.
Bo. And I was like, well, let's just call him Bobo.
Bobo. So Bobo is his name. Now, Bobo he stayed in his crate for a day. We thought, is he going to eat? Is he going to come out? Is he going to drink
Right.
water? He's going to, he just totally shut down. He just laid in there with his eyes closed. Mm-hmm. Came out, apparently that night, he came out, ate, used the cat box.
Singing.
He started singing. Mm-hmm. Then the next morning, back in the I moved I moved our cat tower. We had a cat tower in the basement. Moved it upstairs for him. He got inside the cat tower, and that became this new crate. And he did not want to come out of that, so he spent all day.
He's very nocturnal.
Yeah. So then he comes out again at night.
And we have toys for him
And you could hear the toys being knocked around.
consistently.
You could hear the bell of the toys. And then he sees you, and he runs and hides back inside the tower. That's what he was doing. Well, I got up in the middle of the night, I guess it was the third night, and sat there. I just sat on the floor, and finally, he came out. He came out to check me out, and I rubbed his head a little bit, and he went back in the tower. Then I just kept sitting there in the dark, and he came back out, and I scratched his head, scratched his chin, and he really likes his back scratched. So he stood there and he let me scratch his back. Well, then I started walking around. He was following me around the house.
You were giving him a guided tour.
I was giving him, the tour, and he was being really, really cool. Went to bed. I got up the next morning. He was still up. He was being, it's you from last night.
Right.
And you seemed to be really cool. You came in the room. He ran like somebody threw hot water at him. He ran just.
I've never had an animal react the way that Bobo is reacting to me.
That was the weirdest thing because I thought, okay, he's coming around. He's going to like people. He hid again all day. He didn't want anything to do with me or you.
He's still hiding during the day. He'll come out he'll probably come out
10 or 11 o'clock is his typical
but
time.
He's been coming out around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., because I think he knows that's when we can feed him.
Yeah.
But some nights it's later. But he's still not, like, we kind of had some progress yesterday, but then when I turned my back when I was cooking dinner, he jumped on the counter and tried eating what I was cooking, and I grabbed him very, non-violently. I grabbed him and put him on the floor, and he hasn't really liked me since.
No, he got up this morning, got on the couch. He got on the couch with you and I, but he doesn't like when you make noise. If you move or make any noise, he runs. It's like he hears your voice or a noise. That's the loud lady. And you've seen that because he'll be on the couch, sitting on the couch with me because I've started getting up early while it's dark.
I've lived here longer than him. He needs to get used to it. I'm done walking on eggshells around this cat. It'll be fine. It takes time, and I have this cat. I have this book. What is my cat thinking? And I want you to read it. I read it when I first got Pooh Bear, and I found it to be very helpful. He's just a little bit different, and we'll just have to be patient. Brain was very old and
he already
chill.
Trained in his own little thing. What is really weird with this cat too, the other thing is, what chair has he started to sleep in?
The chair that Rain?
The chair that Rain was
likes
in.
to sleep in.
Where does he hide in the closet? Originally, he was hiding in the corner where Rain
used to
always
hide.
hide and sleep. It's really weird. And I remember, I think I told you this, that I kind of was laying there really sad while I was out of town, and I kind of said to Rain, I miss you, Rain, kind of deal. And if you're going to guide me to another cat, I hope you. Mm-hmm. And I really kind of feel, not only did I feel like he waited for me to come home, he's somehow involved with this one. I think you need this one.
Yeah. So I'm very patient with this one. We'll see how it ends up, and hopefully he'll chill out a little bit.
But it's funny how you can go, well, your buddy, because he'll come out and get on the couch, he'll lay on me, and then he sees you.
But you know what? I'm thankful I have Butterfly, and I still have Pooh Bear, and they love me.
They do. But now you're worried about their death.
I am. This happened when Moon Pie passed away. I was consistently worried about Butterfly and Pooh Bear at the time, and
we were watching TV last night, and she's like,
are they acting too chill?
Is Butterfly okay? I go, she's asleep. Well, I'm going to pick her up. Well, she's asleep. Oh, look, I picked her up, and she's okay. I know, I told you she's asleep. Then you're like, Pooh Bear, are you okay? You're being kind of cuddly. Are you okay, Pooh Bear? You're being cuddly.
Yes, I have a fear of losing one of them because Rain was the newest member of the family.
That's true. He might have been older, but he was newer. Mm-hmm. So that's what happens,
I know.
I hate it.
So I was like, we don't need to get another animal.
Well, we talked about it after it happened. Remember how we both said at one time? Yeah, we both said I'd like to die before anything else. Mm-hmm. You said it was before your grandmother, wasn't it? That was what.
Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. Freaking pain. I just don't like pain. I don't like dark things. That's why I don't want to watch dark things. See how I did that?
Huh. So that's why we've been watching 24/7 Hallmark movies.
But I deleted them. The ones we didn't watch, they're gone.
I thought we should have watched. This is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening. I thought we should watch all the ones that she recorded because I read that they made 40 new Hallmark movies this year, which they were still already showing older ones with the new ones. So now if they do 40 this year, that means they're going to be doing new ones next year.
It'll be
that
fine.
We haven't.
It's fine. I'm okay if I don't watch every single gosh darn Hallmark movie.
You are?
I am. But after Christmas, it's done.
Did you see the podcast that I sent you about Hallmark movies? Did you check that out or listen to it? It was basically a podcast on Hallmark movies. They watch them and then they discuss the movie. That's what that I sent you. I thought you'd be all over that one.
No, I enjoy my Hallmark movie time. But after Christmas, I'm no longer into the Christmas movies. I'll watch other Hallmark movies and shows. But that if we would have tried to watch all those Hallmark movies we didn't get to watch, we wouldn't have watched Bridgerton or Poldark or
whatever.
Virgin River.
Oh, Virgin River was so good. Did I say that? Can I keep my man card?
I blame the charcuterie board.
The cootery board. The story is getting better. Like the first season was good. I really liked it. I was looking forward. The next season was almost a little darker. There was some edgier, and there was some crime, and you were scared about
people
stuff.
are going to die.
And is that guy going to die? Is he going to get killed? Is he going to?
And the end was pretty violent too. We don't want to give away any.
No, we don't. But the other thing is, I like that actor Tim Matheson that plays the doctor. I really like him. The doctor.
I like the other guy.
Oh, the lead guy. But that guy, Tim Matheson, he was in Animal House and he was on Bonanza years ago. And I was telling Janet, it's really weird for me to watch Bonanza and see him as a teenager.
Right. And now he's the old guy.
And he's the old guy on this show. I wonder how it is for him. I guess it's probably great. He's probably like, yeah, I'm still working. And he looks great, know. But he's supposed to be in his 70s, apparently, on the show. I don't even know what he is in real life. Today's his birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
It's another weird thing. He is a Facebook friend. Not never met him, but I requested him as a friend, and
he accepted.
He accepted, and he has liked stuff. So it's this weird combo. I think that's one thing about Facebook. It can bring some things together.
But you've never actually communicated.
No.
Okay.
No. But I have communicated. Like you meet some of these guys and you communicate. Like Nick Searcy, the actor from what was that show that we loved?
I don't know. I'm really bad with names.
You are horrible with names. But anyway, Nick, I met through that. We got together. I've had him on my podcast. Mm-hmm. What was the show? He was the cop with the cow. Oh man! Somebody right now is screaming at it was.
I bet they aren't. Not everyone's as good at names as you are, and name dropping. You love it every podcast.
Do I?
Yes.
Every time.
It feels like it.
Do I really? People listening. Oh, damn it!
I'm horrible with names because of my day job. I'm a recruiter, and I deal with resumes and names all day long, and. Probably about 5 years ago, it stopped sticking. Names just don't stick.
Do you remember anybody that you are going to review or have a meeting with? Or like, I've got to remember this guy because I want to suggest them to the bosses? Or
no, that's why I have to be very organized in my life. I'm very organized. Everything is documented. I know. Did you think of the show yet? I was trying to give you time.
No, I couldn't think. I got distracted.
You could have Googled.
No, when you said, you do that every show. You name drop every show. Like, do I?
You do a lot.
I don't mean to. I just have.
You're fine. I'm not saying
I
it's
do
a
have
bad
famous
thing.
friends, but my point being, I have met famous people through that have actually like,
Yes.
hey, I'll do your podcast, you know.
Right.
That was my point.
Yes.
So do you have any topics that you wanted to talk about? Because we've just been rambling on about personal life this entire time, and cats passing and new cats and
Right.
fear of death. So it's been an exciting podcast.
I found this ridiculous story that we both like Hawaiian rolls. You know, the Hawaiian rolls. We don't eat them much anymore because we try and avoid carbs.
But I still loved it.
But there is a New York State man that has filed a class action lawsuit against the makers of King's Hawaiian sweet rolls, alleging the company misled him into believing that the California manufactured sweet rolls were made in Hawaii. So he's suing them because they're not made in Hawaii. They're not Hawaiian rolls.
Where are they made?
In California. They're made in Torrance, California, but the packaging features Hilo, Hawaii on the front.
Wasn't it from there? Wasn't it made there originally? Can't you be started somewhere and still be made somewhere else?
So the King's Hawaiian website states the rolls were created by Robert Tara in the 1950s when he opened Robert's Bakery in Hilo. The company was renamed King's Bakery when it later expanded to Honolulu, and the business eventually closed. I think this is a misprint. Moved to Torrance, California. So they're now manufacturing. You look concerned as well. Do you want to be a part of this clash action lawsuit?
No, because I was like confused because it is a company that started there. That's how it got its name.
They're no longer made in Hawaii.
Right, but does it say on the packaging made in Hawaii, or is everybody just assuming? Well, I thought it said.
The front of the packaging features Hilo, but on the back, where you see where it's manufactured, it says California.
Yeah, but I think that's a BS lawsuit. I think that's somebody
Agreed.
just looking for an excuse because it's Hawaiian bread. If nothing else, it's Hawaiian bread recipe. Mm-hmm. And
that originated from Hawaii.
So that's sort of dumb. That bread is not only does it taste amazing, and I don't know the recipe or the secret, but it lasts forever. Mm-hmm. And that was part of the reason for that bread is that they could take it on boats and ships, and it stayed good while they were like rowing between islands and stuff.
Right.
So
probably on Poldark.
I don't think that's the same time period.
What?
I do know that when we watch those shows like 1779 now, I'm like...
Justified.
That was the name of the show with Nick Searcy. It was Justified. That was with Timothy Oliphant, I think was the guy's name, who played the actual other cop.
I closed the page.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks for figuring that out. But where was I going with that?
King's Hawaiian. Not on Poldark.
Oh, when I watch those shows, there's like, because they're set 1777 or 1779, and I see them all walking across the grounds of a castle, or, I'm like, they could drop coins, and I could find those with my metal detector.
I'd like to metal detect that.
I'd like to metal detect that right there.
Yes. Yes.
And today, New Year's Eve, she finally let me get out with my metal detector today. Finally. It's been 3 weeks. And she was like, why don't you go? I'm not keeping you. I'm not making you stay here. You can go have your own life. So I got to go out today with my metal detector. And she's just like staring blankly like, that's not true. That whole story is a lie.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All the lies. All the lies. I go to Cycle Bar on a regular basis, even though I've had the last week off. And so this morning, we were sitting drinking coffee, and I saw it was going to be like 45 today and sunny. And I was like, you can go out. I have things to do at the house. Like I scrapbooked today, and I did my makeup, and I have things to entertain me. You don't have to entertain me. And you were like, no. And then I come back from Cycle Bar, and you're like, I'm going to go metal detect. I was like, yes. I don't know why you think you have to babysit me. I do enjoy our time together, but I understand if you want to take a couple hours and go find the metal in the ground.
Oh, that's how you just. If you want to go find metal in the ground, that's okay. You go. Do that.
I'm sure you can simplify my cycle bar, but
if you want to pedal your butt
right
around.
No, there's no moving. It's also stationary.
Don't you stand up and pedal?
Sometimes,
Oh,
yeah.
then the guy behind you is like, look at that butt. Yeah,
It's
check
mostly
that
females in the class.
out. You said it was 6 guys today that beat you.
No, I got 6th place in the class, but there were 2 guys in the class.
Oh.
And guys always
I thought
do
it was
better.
6 guys ahead.
No. No.
No wonder she likes going to this class. These
Oh,
guys
dear
all have
gosh.
bumps on their stomachs.
No, it's not like that at all. I don't need you thinking that.
Oh, is that why you go?
You can come with me.
No, I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No.
You love the stationary bike.
No.
You love
We
the
went out for a
stationary bike.
walk the other day, and we're going up an incline. She's like, blah, 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 like zooming up, and I'm like, I'm going to die before I get to the top. So there's no way, because you go and you pedal like 100 miles an hour for 45 minutes, and you know that's true. I would be dead in 5 minutes.
But you don't have to keep up with the class. When I first started, I was like, I pay for this. I could not keep up with the instructor. I couldn't. I was like, I'm going to do my best. And I've been going for about 1.5 years now. And yes, I can kind of keep up with the instructor some days. Some days it's like.
Do they put you over in like the kids' table area where there's like 3 or 4 of you that like are out of shape?
You pick your own bike. So you can pick the one in the back where no one will see you.
Uh-huh.
And that's my favorite bike still.
Is there somebody next to you that's like,
Well, they're 6 feet apart. Everyone's doing their own pace. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Is there people showing up that are totally out of shape though?
Yes.
Like totally like.
Yes. And you're like, yeah, good job. You're trying.
And they come back?
Yes. There's another rider. Her name is Janet. And she is heavyset and out of shape, but she is there. And she'll do 2 classes back to back. She's trying.
That's great.
And when I started 1.5 years ago, I was, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh, woohoo, I did 7 miles. And now I'm doing 13 in the same amount of time. And so you just get better if you keep doing things.
Well, you keep coming back. It works. Do you feel like that's the only, is that for cardio or burning fat, or what's the point of the cycle bar? Because I know like in gym, like we go to did go to Planet Hollywood, where you got Planet Fitness. I mean, and you do the weights, and then you do the cardio, and then you do the weights, and then you do the sit up machine, and then you do. So does the bike work everything? Yeah,
because we do some cardio. So we do some choreography while we're on the bike to help us target our abs. There's weight bars. We do a full song of like arms. It's
you're pedaling a bicycle and
you have this weight that you're doing arms with. It's a full body workout.
It sounds like you've become addicted to it.
I kind of am. The endorphins, they don't give me as big of a high anymore, but I still feel them. And when I skip a day, like I didn't go yesterday, I'm kind of like, wah, wah, wah.
Well, just take a bite off the charcuterie board, and everything will be fine. We've got all this stuff. We talked about this before. We have like a home gym treadmill and the weights and the machine, and you've got your ab.
We definitely talked about this.
Your ab thing,
last
and
week. You just don't.
Just don't.
I have tried to be like, Steve, just go downstairs, walk on the treadmill.
I know.
Watch your news.
I think COVID just jacked with my head. Because, I started going to the gym. I was trying to go. I was doing that 30-minute thing that I loved with the green light, red light.
You could do that here.
I know, but it's not. I don't feel as. It's like the motivation got sucked out of me, and you're like, well, life just sucks. I'm not working. But I need to do this.
Working out helps with your immune system and helps you fight off viruses. It's a huge motivator for me with COVID. Like when lockdown happened and it started to get a little warm, I'm like, I got to keep moving. I got to keep my immune system up. I got to keep going. So we were walking, and then the gyms opened up, and I was able to go back to Cycle Bar. And I changed my package from 4 a month to unlimited per month because I didn't want to go back to Planet Fitness because that was a less safer environment in my mind. because at the cycle bar, they had the bikes spaced out. They were cleaning the bikes in between every class. And you don't know what's happening at Planet Fitness.
Didn't you get yelled at for not wearing a mask or having your mask down?
No.
No?
No.
Was there somebody? Because, like, it's not over your nose or something. Or didn't you tell me that?
No. I was worried because when the second round of lockdown happened, I was so scared they were going to close Cycle Bar. They didn't. They removed a few more bikes. And we went from not having to wear masks on the bikes to having to wear masks. I was nervous because I couldn't breathe with the mask, so I bought face shields.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to...
Oh my God, it was horrible. I was like, I'm going to pass out. And I found the thinnest mask I have. And I've seen some of the people, they have masks that are just nets.
Did you see the guy yesterday at the grocery store that was in front of us that had the...
with the
knitted,
crochet.
They had a
yeah.
crochet... He had a crochet mask.
I was like,
What is...
oh,
That's not a... That has...
But his wife probably made it for him. So sweet.
He was an old guy.
Yeah.
But I thought, that is not even... That's not blocking out anything. Viruses are microscopic, and you've got big old knitted loops on your face.
Right. Yeah. Anywho, but you should come down here. Keep your immune system up, even on cold days. Get walking on the trail. Do a mile, 1 mile.
Maybe. If I could see the TV better, it would be awesome. If it was like right in front of the TV, I could stand there and watch TV. But, who knows?
After this podcast, I'm going to make it happen.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
This is New Year's Eve. We've got things to do. We've got steaks to cook. We've got...
You know what
all the
really
stuff.
upsets me?
What?
You can't buy prime rib for 2 at the butcher.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I was so like, I'm going to make prime rib for the first time. Oh, my goodness. And we go to the butcher, and he's like...
Well, he goes, it's $13 and something such a pound. And he goes, how much you want? I go, enough for 2. And he goes, no.
No.
I go, what? No, he goes, down there, those are the same pieces of meat. They're the cut.
They're just off the bone.
Off the bone. They're pieces off the bone. Get a couple of those. We're like, no, we want it with like
I wanted to make prime rib.
Can't you make prime rib? No.
So we got ribeyes.
But I've never cooked a prime rib before.
Me either.
But I've only ever had it in slices. It comes out raw slices. So I was assumed, can we just have 2 thick slices of prime rib and we'll take those home? No.
He was not very nice.
Well, he was very busy and the place was packed. And he was actually cutting meat while he was trying to talk to us. So,
yeah.
Like,
So I told you after the first of the year, I'll take you to go have prime rib somewhere because I felt really bad. I was like, what do you want? What is the one thing you would want for your New Year's Eve dinner? You're like, prime rib. Okay, let's go find prime rib. No.
Well.
But we got ribeye, and they've been marinating for 24 hours, and they've been resting out of the fridge for the last 4 hours because you're supposed to do that. I've got this whole new way of cooking it that's supposed to be like best
what are you going to do?
Rib. I'm going to preheat the oven with my cast iron skillet, preheating to medium to high. I'm going to sear the steaks and then put them in the oven for a couple of minutes. Oh. I know. I've never made them this way.
That sounds
very
awesome.
Excited because it's too cold to use the grill.
Well, I'm very excited. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I hope you...
Are we good?
We're good. I'm now we're sitting here talking about food. I'm like,
I'm hungry.
I'm really hungry.
But we have the charcuterie board.
I know, but you told me not to eat while we were recording.
Because you're a very loud eater. Oh heavens!
But we're gonna have that steak. We're gonna do cauliflower, mashed potatoes, garlic, cauliflower. What else are you making for the?
I think that's it because we also have creme brulee that we're going to have.
You're not doing the green beans? You said you were thinking about green beans.
I think it's going to be too much.
Okay.
Because we have the charcuterie board, we have the ribeyes with the mashed potatoes and the creme brulee. I think we'll be fine.
I think we will be fine. So, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for finishing up 2020 with us. We all hope 2021 is going to be better. But I
don't think it's going to just come out and be roses.
It's not going to change tomorrow. Like it's not going to be like boom. But what if 2021 is just the second season of 2020? What if it's just like
I'm going to walk around with a blue bird in my heart.
That it won't be? When do you think, just before we go here, what is your call on when do you think it's going to get back to normal?
2022.
You do? You think it's going to be at least another year before back to? Oh, good.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
But you're starting to get club gigs and stuff.
Right. They're slowly coming in, but some of the club gigs, not mine, thank goodness, knock on wood, but some of the guys have already had to cancel gigs because they open up, then the state gets closed down again. So hopefully that will not happen. Slowly will go. A lot of the people that I've been reading or I follow have said they think it'll open up around mid-year, like June, July. Then there's other people, like I just saw a couple of doctors said they didn't think it would get back to normal till later in the year. And then I saw tonight Dr. Fauci said that they didn't think it would be back to normal until 2022.
Just test positive for COVID that had the vaccine.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I didn't see that one.
I think I saw that today.
Oh, God. It's a mess, ladies and gentlemen. It's a mess. So stay safe, take care of yourself, wash your hands. I know people are like, well, I'm not wearing a mask. I don't understand. I mean, I don't enjoy the mask. But every time we take a picture, if we're out somewhere or one of our videos upload, why are you guys wearing a mask? I never wear a mask. Oh, all right, but I don't want.
That's your choice. Our choice is we are going to follow the guidelines given to us by the Center of Disease Control.
Well, I just don't want to.
Control.
For me, I just don't want to get in the hassle with anybody.
Right.
I don't want to deal with anybody.
I don't want to get sick.
I don't want to cop. I don't want to. So I'm just like, all right, I'll wear it in.
I do it to protect myself. I'm not just following the rules. I do it to protect myself.
And it makes your eyes snap. When it's just your eyes showing, your eyes are like, pow!
So should I walk around the house with a mask on?
A veil. You should wear a veil. That's it. We should get you in like a burqa.
A burqa. Yeah, no.
That's mask. That's the first step. See, you could be wearing a burqa out in public soon.
Okay. We should say goodbye so I can move the treadmill.
Okay. So, Happy New Year. Till next time.
Happy 2021, y'all. Bye.